Hello, dear Hercules fans. I am now on a huge journey from Regensburg to Austria to the Glockner, a very high mountain there in Austria, and see whether my little Hercules mover makes it. I'll quickly show you with what I'm traveling. So here it is, a Herkules Optima 3. It's one of the first mopeds way back when that was allowed to go 50 kilometers an hour. So in a mere 15-20 hours I should make it to the Groß Glockner. So we'll see. So anyway, everything is original on this bike. All the chrome, all the paint job, every screw is original from here. What isn't, of course, is the big windshield that I put on, and then all the luggage and my little extra battery as a phone charger and GPS and stuff like this. So we are clearly in the 21st century here with this bike. Anyway, so here it is. I had the Mofa version of it in the 70s as a teenager, and so I decided to relive my teenagedom once more and buy myself this Optima 3. It's beautiful shape, and like I said, I did a lot of polishing there, but it's still almost like out of the factory, and like I said, everything original. So I've done my first 15 kilometers here. This is my first little stop of my roughly 1,000 kilometer journey. So till I get back home, I'll keep you informed on how it goes on. Yeah, so I just wanted to stop in between to show you what I've been spending the last 2-3 hours in these tiny roads, and absolutely pastoral. It is just gorgeous. And there is downtown Bayerholz over there. Now you can't drive through it because it's a dead end, but that's downtown Bayerholz over there. And so this is where I've been driving the last couple of hours. Just absolutely gorgeous. And a little bus housey overgrown, and it is just absolutely romantic. And my little moped here is holding on valiantly. Well, will you look at that? If you squint really hard, you can see some outlines of the Alps. So these would be still the German Alps that you can see there. The reason why you can barely see it, by the way, is a very interesting one. So we are here in Bavaria, and it's very hazy. Normally you'd have a clear view were it not for those Canadians who have these horrendous forest fires, and it has now drawn over the ocean and the smoke has arrived in Europe. So that's why it is so extremely hazy. If you squint very hard, you might be able to see it. So thanks, Canada. Wow, for the last 2 hours this has been like this. We are now in those mountains that you could only see very hazily. But this is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And for the last 2 hours on this tiny little road there, it's just magnificent. This is southern Bavaria, and it's so much nicer, I always find, than Austria, because Austria, everything feels fake. These are real houses in which real people live, and for generations. And because the wealth standard here has always been better than in Austria, these are beautifully kept up and built. And it's actually real. So these are real farms with real people. In Austria, sometimes you see plastic cows put there for tourists, and the architecture is fake turn of the century kind of thing. But this is it. This is real with a real mofa. All right, I made it to Austria. I'm just about to enter. I wanted to share the moment with you. So far I've been on the road for about, well, left at 8:30. It's now 4:30 in the afternoon. So couple of hours, and I made it. It's probably the first time in its long life that this moped has been in a different country. Okay, anyway, I'll talk to you at the hotel. So I have arrived at the little hotel in Kals, K-A-L-S, and I had to immediately go for dinner somewhere because here everything closes at 8:30. So I just made it in time, but it's absolutely beautiful up here. And tomorrow I shall attempt to climb the Glockner with Moped. We are now at the very beginning of the high Alpine road towards the Glockner, the high gate. And we are here at a height of 702 meters. And this is just the start of the road. And now for 33 kilometers, it's gonna go steeply uphill until we've reached a height of 2,500 meters. So far I know, poor little Moped has trouble from 1,600 meters onward. He doesn't really want to drive because compression gets very low. I have a pizza bet running with a good friend of mine, whether I have to push or not. And I said I'll have to push the mofa all the way up from about probably 2,000 meters on or so. He thinks not. So it'll be very, very interesting who gets the pizza. But this will be now quite an adventure to try with not quite 3 horsepower, 2.8 horsepower, to get up there. Up there from 2,000 meters on, I'll probably have less than 1 horsepower juice left in the bike. So it'll be very, very interesting. This is what it looks like from my perspective, with a proud 10 kilometers an hour up the hill. Woohoo! What a way to travel. I can't let the engine go out when I make a little stop, because I'm now 1700 meters high, and if it goes out, I don't know whether I can start it again. So anywho, beautiful view here. Okay, so I'm a couple of hundred meters above Heiligenblut. I'm about 2000 meters high, and I don't think the moped's gonna make it. This is a forced rest. The engine started smelling a little bit. So it runs sort of. We'll see whether I get it started again. I just let it cool out a little bit, because a cooler engine has slightly more compression, and it's the compression that's missing, obviously, for the moped. So if you start with 2.7 horsepower and then you lose 2 of them because of compression, that's a pretty picture. Well, we'll see. Maybe I still make it. All right, we are now downtown Fallbichel. As you can see, 2200 meters, 300 meters more to go. This is gonna be tough. So the engine started smelling again, and then it died. I didn't push yet. Once in a while I sort of walked sitting on the mofa while the mofa was doing its thing. And the problem that I had, one time it died, but it wasn't the engine, it was that it got so steep there wasn't enough gas in the tank to still fill it, because it was at such an angle. So I put it on reserve, and that fixed it. But I'm letting it cool down right now, so that I get again a little bit more compression. That helped last time. All right, we'll hope for the best. All right, everyone, it is official. I am at the Hochturm at 2504 meters. The moped, after a long struggle, did it. I had to let the engine cool down many times, and that gave it just enough compression to start and go another 50 meters up. So the whole thing took me about probably 4 hours or so to get up here. So but wow, what a thrill, what a thrill. We are at the Glockner. There's still snow lying around in high June. It is quite a thrill. Okay, just a little victory video on the other side of the tunnel. I turn around once. Way back down there is my little scooty. This is my victory lap. That it actually did it. It's unbelievable. I'll turn the camera around. This is what it looks from the other side. The Glockner. It's very, very windy up here and refreshingly cool. There's the little moped. Oh yes, what an adventure this was. And so I have officially run out of gas, which is very fortuitous, because I'm here on the top, and I have to, in 6.6 kilometers, there is a gas station. So it's all downhill till there, so I can actually roll to the gas station. How lucky. Yeah, so every 2 or 3 minutes I have to stop to cool down the brakes. It's incredibly steep. Look at this. This is just within sort of 100 meters of driving or so. But you know, 50 meters down in 100 meters of driving is something like this, just incredible. And so when you have only little bicycle brakes, then by gosh, they start glowing very, very quickly. And so I have to take breaks every 2-3 minutes or so to protect my brakes. Otherwise, you pull and nothing happens. So, so it takes almost longer down than it does up. Boy, am I glad this gas station is here. As you know, I started running out of gas on top of the mountain, and now for the last 10 kilometers, it would run for 2 minutes, then it would stop, and then I would tilt it sideways like this so that the gas can still go into the hose. And that got me here. Wow, on the last drop. So very interesting. It was only 2.78 liters that I had to fill in. And so it wasn't that I was running out of gas. There must have been, through the constant full gas first gear, a lot of oil depositing itself into the air filter. And that created the bubbles in there. Very interesting. I'll show you. So here's the gas valve that was on reserve because it didn't come out properly. And this is the gasoline line, and there were lots of bubbles in there. And so I'm not quite sure why that is. When I'm home, I'll have to investigate. And probably a new gas filter. Maybe it's all oiled up or something. But we'll find out. It's driving fine now, so no problems. So I made it through Austria. I'm now in Bavaria, in the Berchtesgadener Land. There is a lake behind me, and of course my mofa. I'm gonna try to make it home today. There's still 180 kilometers left or so. So that would take another 5 hours. It's 6 o'clock, so should be home by 11. What an adventure so far. Okay, over and out. Yes, so I didn't make it after all. I made a big mistake on the last fill up. I was too tired. I put in double as much oil into the tank than I should have. And so as a result, the spark plug fouled up, the carburetor fouled up, and I put in some gas only after I had driven for about 50 kilometers. But that wasn't enough to thin down my mistake. And so I made it till almost home, 29 kilometers missing to make it home. And my wife is coming to rescue me. I tried calling the German version of the CAA, the Automobile Club, to maybe get me home or so with the mofa, but they are so busy. It's prime time, travel time. And so they don't even pick up the phone. They say when you call, it's going to be at least a long wait, and they don't know when they can come and so on. So I almost made it on my journey. I drove over 800 kilometers, and the last 29 I'm missing. But thanks for my dear wife. She's coming to rescue me. The last shot of the moped, with fouled up spark plug and fouled up carburetor. I'll be fixing it tomorrow when I get it home. But right now it's at a gas station. It's well lit, and well locked, and so hopefully it'll be there still tomorrow. Good night. Well, this is the last installment of the trip of this amazing 2-day adventure. I hooked up the trailer and we got the moped from the gas station where I left it last night. Everything is fine. I started it this morning. It was driving okay. So what I will do now is I'll clean the carburetor and I clean the spark plug with a steel brush, and that probably fixes everything. It was starting and driving this morning, but just to be on the safe side. All right, so that was it. Over and out.